Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race. Racers are in the pens getting ready to go, and we recently had an update to Zwift. Pretty awesome update, actually, with the expansion of the London course, but there's also something new to the events that is going to be used today. Racers are not going to be able to see today in this event other riders out on the course. They've given the ability in Zwift now for race organizers and event organizers to make it so that you can only see, if you want to, the event can be set up so that you can only see other riders that are part of your event, or make it so you can see the subgroups that are also in your event. So the A racers are just taking off. Actually, we actually had, it looks like 47, maybe even 50 riders actually jump into this A race today. I am going to be hanging out in the A and the B race with one of my feeds, as well as the C and the D race with the other feed. We are currently live on Facebook with Zwift Community Live, as well as Zwift's Facebook. We are also live over at Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. So make sure to jump on whichever platform that you want to watch on. But the racers in the A category have gotten going out onto the course, and you'll be able to see right away exactly what I was just talking about with the race group that they are in with the A riders right now. On the right hand side, as you can see here, for Zaza coming from Innovation, as well as Waylon, Barlow, Cliff, and then a whole lot of Innovation boys here up toward the front. It does look like Adrian Tinas is also in there as well for Caden Sports, but you can see at the well, you can't see because it's underneath the London Loop course, but on the right hand side at least you can see the A that is designated there. And so all of the riders that have A next to their name here are part of that A category, and they can no longer see, this is like the second level of culling, they call it culling of any other riders out on course. So the rest of the course is completely empty, and you no longer have any interference from the race whatsoever from other riders out on course. They will be able to see, I believe I got a little message from the race organizers prior, and we will be able to see the B category racers though as they chase down the A racers, because they are a part of the event overall. There is a third level that you can go to of eliminating other people out on course that aren't a part of your event, where you can't even see the subgroups. So only the A's and the B's and the C's and the D's can see the groups that are around them. So that's a cool new feature that has come out on Zwift, and I'm super excited about it, as no longer will there be any interference, and you will only be able to click on and see the riders that are part of the event and not get things mixed up at all, especially from a broadcaster's point of view. Very great to see that. So up toward the front though, we do see the Innovation boys starting immediately to try to take control of this lead group that is forming. Jay Hodges there, you did see that 9 watts per kilogram kick up a little bit there to make sure he stays on terms with this group, because Byerlin there is there as well with Quentin LaFay, but it is 8 seconds back, the W2 stepper here out of the US of A, really kicking it up right now, trying to get back on terms on the Go-Go Power Rangers, what we call the Z Power a lot of times since the beginning of our broadcasts. It looks like he may be able to bring that up into the 438s and spin for the win to get back on terms. Let's go ahead, as we're watching that right there, we probably want to read through some of the race rules, as that would probably help with a lot of you. I'm going to head on over to zwiftpower.com. Over at zwiftpower.com is where you can keep up with all of the racing action live, actually on the live tab. And they do actually have the race information right in the live tab over there. It says, please have KISS in your name if you're going to be a part of the race. As you can see, most of the riders on the right hand side there do have KISS in their name. It says that power-ups are allowed at all times in KISS races. KISS races are fully gamified experiences, so you definitely can use a power-up. A lot of these riders prior to the race probably went around and found a start-finish banner or a sprint banner or a KOM banner, went through that, and had a little roulette go up on the top of their upper left-hand screen where you see London Loop for me right there. There's actually a little spot right there where a power-up will show up, and it'll land on one or experience bonus, and then they got to keep riding to find the next one that they can get. So these riders definitely, that more experienced ones, most likely were looking around for that power up. You can use them at any time during these races without any penalty. They are turned on for this race. Rider name then, as you can see for the names, if you want to jump into a race, You want to put whatever team that you're a part of, KISS in your name, as well as your category. As you can see, a lot of the racers have done a good example here with Adrian Timmis says at Kane Sports KISS and then A in his name, meaning that he's a part of the A category. As far as the categories go, it's all about functional threshold power. If you can do over 4 watts per kilogram for your functional threshold power, then you should jump into an A race out on Zwift, as that is going to put you amongst riders that are around the same level as you are, and you're going to get a really good workout and get pushed by them. If you jump into a race that's and you're 4 watts per kilogram or higher, and you jump into a race that is lower than A, you're most likely not going to get pushed as hard as you possibly could and probably just walk away from everybody else. Because in the B category, it's 3.2 watts per kilogram to 4.0. In the C category, it's 2.5 to 3.2. And in the D category, it is 2.5 and under. So there's always somebody to race with out on Zwift. Tim Cartwright here, the winner of the CVR World Cup out in London now, showing that he's on the London virtual course right now. We'll give him a ride on as he kicks it up for the KRT racing team. His teammate there, James Hodges, right on his wheel there. And the KRT boys have shown up to throw down some huge wattage bazookas as they head over to Trafalgar Square and take that left-hand turn over toward Box Hill here in just a moment. They'll hit the underground in just a moment and then up toward Box Hill, but they're looking to split things up immediately. A couple innovation boys did jump right onto the wheel there, as it looks like it will be Caden Sports right along with C. Loke, and then Zaza coming out of South Africa with the 291 watts and 175 beats per minute. Richardson's there as well, and 2 or 3 innovation boys right on his wheel. We do have Clark there as well from the BRT, it looks like. So this looks like the initial selection, unless Casson here along with Barlow Cliff and Warwick as well as Beerline can get organized and pull this back in, but if they're already dropped off, it might have been a little too much for them anyways, and it might be smarter to lick their wounds a little bit here and let that go, as the boys up front most likely are going to be kicking like that over and over again. We are seeing one of those power-ups we were talking about, that arrow power-up on the left-hand side there being thrown down by, it would be Barlowkiff? No, we're looking for not Orgel. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. It is Woltrick here coming out of Switzerland, throwing down an arrow power-up, trying to get back that time. There's only 3 seconds to the front group at this point, but not sure that they're going to be, I mean, if they do bring it back, I think it's just going to fall apart again, maybe. But that's a prediction. Maybe a few of those boys that are just getting pulled back to that front group know it's going to come back and are resting up, conserving as much energy as they can for the place where things actually tend to break apart, which is most definitely Box Hill. It is an all-out effort for somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes for these front runners in the A group. All right, things are going to settle down a little bit as that catch is made amongst these leaders. Let's get back to the C category group. We do have an avatar hanging out in the C category here. We definitely want to make sure to cover as many of the categories we possibly can. As we were talking about earlier, though, if you can do over 4 watts per kilogram, you definitely want to jump into the correct category. Pickering here will get an upgrade. He is on Z Power as well, and so definitely walking away from the rest of the C category groups. So we're going to stick with Campbell here, who's leading out at 3.1, right on the edge of that threshold level that you can hold in the C category, moving his way backwards now into this pack. Now we do have our Williams here out of Great Britain, it looks like, with Stewart and Smith, B. Smith there coming out of Sweden. A large group actually hasn't separated at all just yet, so definitely going to be waiting for that first little climb into the square before things actually start to develop in the race here. But it looks like a solid group of about 20. The first ones to bite the dust on the back end of this C category does look to be Potter. Has fallen off pace here for the BRT team. The BRT team does use now. You guys are wondering maybe what's going on with the teams that you're talking about. And here, we didn't mention this, you can use any bike in the KISS races. As you can see, he's using the Zwift TT bike, which does go faster than the rest of the bikes solo. But altogether, though, as a group, the regular bikes actually out on course most definitely work much faster. As this bike may go faster, it cannot draft on any other bikes in the game. So it doesn't go faster than a group of riders on regular bikes as compared to a single rider on a regular bike and somebody on a TT bike. The TT bike will go faster, but definitely drafting is a huge part of the game in this massive multiplayer online game called Zwift, where people are pedaling away, hammering to try and race each other here in this event that has been set up by the community here. So Max here, well as ADZMP the 360. Pickering still actually has waited up for the group, and it's almost going to be a little bit of cringe that he has, as he is way over limit. But maybe he just went out super hard and is starting to fade at this point. Does not have heart rate monitor or real power source, though, so he cannot win the category at all. All right, the front runners, though, they are heading into Box Hill now. We are seeing Mr. Tim Cartwright himself from the KRT team on the fastest bike in Zwift, the Tron bike, unless you were in the beta and you were able to grab that Cervelo S5, but Cartwright choosing to look slick with the blue on blue team kit there with KRT, and then the Tron with the blue wheels there, 6.2 watts per kilogram. Innovation following very closely, though, as well with C. Loke. We do have Clark there from the BRT team in that Bolt Racing team kit. They've selected and chose to adopt the Power Tap kit for their team. So as you can see here, we're talking about teams, and we also have G. Richardson hanging on there with Zaza also in the Alienware kit and the green bikes that Innovation tends to use for their team kit. Hodges then also, as you can see, in a team kit there for the KRT with their jersey in game. KISS Racing team, as well as the Tron bike. So a lot of teams that have been developed in Zwift, and they actually work really well together to try and win these races and shoot their riders off the front, as you see in Cartwright here, go off the front here, 6.6 watts per kilogram. And Hodge is just trying to stay on turns as best he can, but he knows that Cartwright is going to ride at another level and not going to follow him up. It looks like it will be a chase then with Mr. Adrian Timmis here, ex-Pro Tour de France rider, trying to get back onto the wheel of Hodges as well as Hans, and then it will be D. Christensen there from Innovation, also a part of this chase group. Quentin Lefebvre from Vision Cycling there with Arbor as well from Innovation, trying to stay on terms with Quentin. I think they may be able to get back with Christensen and Timmis, but it's going to be a lot of work to get it done here. 168 beats per minute coming from Quentin now, as it is gone out to 3 seconds. You let that go on Box Hill, though, it may be GG, good game, and I think those boys will not see the front end of the race again. Cartwright now being relentless, though, 6.6 watts per kilogram all day long. He is going to climb at this pace because he does not want these boys to get back with him. Zaza trying to go, though. 1 second is the difference. 178 beats per minute, though, but the RPMs have dropped, and then he's kicking again. The RPMs have dropped, and he's kicking again. We may see a little of an issue there. Wonder what's happening with those RPMs. We are seeing Cartwright still kicking 6.2 steady at the front. If you do want to ask any questions or interact with the broadcast, actually Jonathan Noblet is, it looks like, racing tonight, I believe, as he did do a post on Twitter at Z Community Live just prior to the broadcast here. About to do my first Go Zwift race in a while. Looking a bit team experimental, don't you think, at Z Community Live? If you tweet at Z Community Live, just like Johnny did there, we can bring you right on into the broadcast. So if you would like to ask any questions, tweet your pictures of your Zwift setup or anything like that, please bring them on our way with at Z Community Live, and we will do our best to throw them into the broadcast and answer any of the questions you do bring our way. We did have another one coming from Taylor Swift. This is absolutely hilarious, actually. Just snuck out on the course to see if I could get on Z Community Live coverage. Almost got hit by some A racers who didn't stop for me. Thanks a lot, Taylor Swift. We've got a little bit of a troll of the broadcast. Always great. And then Johnny Nahman said, didn't go all out with the bunch, but myself in the tremendous trio will catch them on the climbs. Nice job there, Johnny, with a PTZ rider as well as a Sweden rider. Sweet rider coming out of Sweden there. Good luck, Johnny, in your race today. All right, as you can see above me there, Cartwright is still hammering away at 181 beats per minute, 450 watts or so. And he still has 3 seconds over these boys. If Cartwright stays away, he won't ever be seen again. This is one of the best time trialers I've ever seen out on Zwift, and he's proved that he's got this power in real life, actually. He showed up to the CVR World Cup calibrated trainers and threw down somewhere in the 420 or so watts for the duration of the race. This guy is the real deal coming out of Great Britain, and he is breaking this race apart right from the get-go. I think the KRT had this team discussion prior to this and said, all right, enough is enough. Let's show these boys what we got, as there's been a lot of chatter going on around some of the Facebook groups as of recently. And I think Cartwright is, well, now he's faded a little bit here. Now kicking one more time, 180 beats per minute or so. Innovation, though, saying not quite yet. It's 7 seconds, but I'm going to give 9 watts per kilogram all real quick to try and close things down, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough as Cartwright has the continuance. Loke here trying to bring it back. It looks like 5.1 watts per kilogram with B. Clark right on his wheel. Richardson's there as well. It's the innovation sandwich here. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get away as Clark's going to have his work cut out for him up against the innovation boys. 3 up front now from innovation, then Cartwright and Clark. And then it looks like about 16 seconds back or so, it is going to be Hodges with another innovation boy right on his wheel, D. Christensen. W. Hans there out of South Africa now with Gavin Arbor there trying to chase him down. S. Casson is there at 138 beats per minute, keeping it steady, it looks like, all day long, with Quentin LeFay from Vision Cycling throwing down that drafting power up to try and stay with these, at least with some of the close to the front top 10 runners. But with 10 seconds now already, that's going to keep on going out if he has continuance up over the top here. As Cartwright now kicks again, 176 beats per minute or so. A 5:51, boys and girls. Absolutely killing it today. Great job to Cartwright with a 5:51 is flying. Zaza 5:57 now. Richardson there also 6:04 with another innovation boy at 6:04 and Clark at a 6:05 for that KOM. One more kick up and over the top of Box Hill, it looks like, as they hit that 9% gradient, and Cartwright on that Tron bike, the avatar up and out of the saddle as he gets into a sprint, 8 watts per kilogram. The orange numbers on the right hand side mean that he is drilling it into those pedals in real life right now from his pain cave, communicating that power into the pedals, into his computer through an ANT Plus signal. If anybody's wondering how this works, he's actually riding a real bike right now, pushing pedals right now to produce the power that you're seeing in the upper left-hand corners that's communicating in watts into the game wirelessly through an ANT Plus signal, or if he is on an iOS device using Zwift, it would be through a Bluetooth signal. So Cartwright now getting into that Sagan tuck position as he's on the downhill, using that speed he had built up with the continuance up and over the top, and then resting a little bit. Zaza now trying to close it down, but it's out to 16 seconds. I don't think Cartwright's going to be seen again. We do have all the chats connected, it looks like, with solid viewers over at the Twitch channel, it looks like. Juice Train, good to see you. Kim Little, good to see you as well. Rogers is over there, as well as Highlander. Thanks for all your comments, guys. And really appreciate you guys hanging out. Zift Community Live coming from MJ Brewer with a question, it looks like. Okay, this is a great question, actually, coming from MJ Brewery, saying, at Zwift Community Live, just started racing this week. DCAT, what are the biggest things people can do to improve at racing in Zwift? So probably one of the biggest things that you can do is there's a lot of so don't race all the time. That's the first thing. Like, don't race day in and day out. Make sure you're recovering really, really well. As well as maybe using some of the workouts that are in Zwift. There's actually workout programs that you can use in Zwift that are built in. And when you get into the login screen, I would definitely suggest working on thresholds, but I would find some threshold workouts in there that are somewhere between 5 to 12 minutes or so that are focused in on that sweet spot of training. But then I would also look at doing some speed work or high power workouts as well that are separated out or right before you do the threshold work. And try and separate out those intensity rides. Maybe a race once a week or so is good to do, to just keep fresh on it and learn how to use the drafting and all that kind of stuff. But then at the same time, try and keep that away, though, especially being a newer rider. You need to recover well, and try and keep that away from the interval sessions or the workout sessions you're doing with the intensity. They got a great workout program as well that you can use. There's like 8-week, 12-week workout programs. I would really highly suggest those as well. Using the workout specifically. As a racer myself, I tend to only race on Zwift to peak out a little bit here and there, or for some motivation. And like these guys, a lot of these guys I know race in real life, and you don't see these guys, most of them, racing every single day. So a great thing to do is definitely use workouts as well as some intervals and stuff, and then race once a week or so to just keep fresh in that and enjoy that as well. So that would be my suggestion. There are those out there, though, that would say, hey, I've been racing and just racing and gotten stronger and stronger. Some have burned out on it and raced too much. So that's what you got to watch out for, especially being newer to the world of racing on Zwift. But thanks so much for the question. Robert Minnick says 3 minutes faster than my best. Darn, kids. What's up, Roberts? Yeah, these boys are fast in the A category. That is for sure. But speaking of CD category, we do see some of the C riders now just making their way up to the top of the climb. ADZ MPE 360 here, coming out of Switzerland at 3.6 watts per kilogram, is turning the screws at the front, it looks like here, with Manx right on his wheel. So this is the front two in the C category. Al Pickering here as well was the rider on the GoGo Power Rangers Z Power. Maybe went a little too hard too early, actually, as he's now being dropped off here. Williams is there 2 seconds back out of Great Britain in that GCN kit, along with Dalen and Greensdale as well. S. Pratt there coming out of Australia. Now with C. Campbell out of the US of A, 14 seconds back. So that is your top 10 or so within that C category. And it looks like Mance at 3.9 watts per kilogram. Let's go ahead and look and see at some of the past results for some of these riders. That's one of the greatest things about ZwiftPower.com, actually, is in their live results, you can actually click on the riders and see exactly what their past results have been, actually. And it looks like in the C category, these front runners are putting out over category limits, actually, A, almost B category type numbers. So they're going to need to get a little bit of an upgrade if they continue on at the pace that they're currently doing here. But D, let's go ahead and see your ADZ MPE 360 here. Coming out of Switzerland, 70 races, took a win in the B category in the KISS Pedal Power TT back on yesterday, the 14th and 18th in the KISS Europe race, in the ABCD and the open race there, and as well as in win in the KISS second base race, but got an upgrade to the B category. So time for that upgrade, MPE 360. Make sure you're jumping into the correct race there, buddy, as it looks like you've had a couple of upgrades as of recently. So let's make sure that we're looking at who's going to take the win. Pickering's well over on the GoGo Power Ranger, so maybe this R. Williams, actually. Not registered over on ZwiftPower.com. Make sure to do so. 3.8 watts per kilogram coming from him, though. Move our way back here. 3.6 from Dahlen. Greensdale as well at 3.6. A lot of C category riders over category limit already. So J. Law, I believe, out of the US of A. First one on the list here that's been at a watts per kilogram that looks to be good to go so far. But there's some really great new information they have added, actually, to the world of to Zwift Power as of recently, actually. And we're actually seeing now. I'm gonna really need this update. I may be reading some things incorrectly. The 20-minute power so far from Cartwright isn't a 5.5 watts per kilogram. He does have a Zada badge, so he is verified for that kind of power, just so everybody knows. Zaza has been DQ'd. He has not shown that he can put out 5 watts per kilogram or more so far, and he is with the front runners, but he will have to submit for Zada as he's put out over 5 watts per kilogram. But looking back here, we are seeing that there's this great new metric, actually, on the left-hand side of the course here, and it says L30 by average power for last 30 seconds. That is a great metric, actually. And junction after start is the last place where Cartwright came through. Glenn, I'm gonna need, if Glenn you are watching, I'm gonna need an explanation. Glenn Knight, James Hodges do a ton of work to keep this website going, ZwiftPower.com, and the L30 explanation, average, how often does that update? It looks like it's updating like very quickly, actually. Cartwright's put out 4.7 for the last 30 seconds, and it just updated at the junction after the start. But I believe that there are certain places out on course that it does update, and only at those places. So, but I am seeing 5.1 just now, actually. So it is changing every moment. It looks like next update in 5 seconds. So actually it's changing, it looks like, every 5 seconds to tell me or so what the actual watts per kilogram they put out for the last 30 seconds. What a great update there from ZwiftPower.com. Nice job. Cheers to you guys on that. So looking through here, we are seeing, and Hodges says every 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, got it. It's all live. That's amazing. So Hodges is letting us know that it's actually all live and updating continually. Really cool. Cartwright here now on his starting his second lap. They're doing 2 laps out here today and is got that 20-second steady here. Loke, though, has some innovation help with Zaza, as well as Clark's going to sit on, but Richardson's gotten back on terms. So 3 innovation boys up against the monster Cartwright, who has 22 seconds. They brought it back in. It was all the way out to 30, but Cartwright still with that continuance here, kicking as he heads up toward the square here. Actually, no, there's a little bit of an uphill. Just wants to throw down a little extra power there and then rest up a little bit to keep that speed. 30 miles per hour. We're seeing 23 from the innovation boys. I don't know if they're going to be bringing them back. I think Cartwright has won this on the first lap. Looking back a little ways, we do see James Hodges here. He's still racing, yet typing while he's hanging out with the Christensen boy here coming out of New Zealand. It is Gavin Arbin here now, just a little ways back from the KRT boys, with Quentin LaFay trying to chase him down. 13 seconds back with Hans on his wheel, as well as S. Casson. I'm going to move back quite a ways now as the A category. You know what's really great about this update is I can see all the people up ahead in my category, and everybody has disappeared from the course that is ahead of me, and so they are not filling up the riders list nearby. This is such an amazing update, actually, to the broadcasting tools, as I can click right on through and keep moving backwards and not be too worried about losing the riders around me. Really, really great update. Cheers to Zwift, as I can click through the entirety of this event and stick with the racing action. It looks like we do have Ikovic here, trying to chase down Bierlin out of Germany, with Rudrick as well out of Switzerland. Wayland is there now with a couple of aero power-ups. Him and Rudrick working well together, looks like, at 32 miles per hour to bring back Wallace from Innovation. So it looks like these 3 are going to be chasing down the 37 seconds from Quentin LaFay and Casson, as well as Hans. Now, quite a ways up, though, we still have the 3 Innovation boys right along with Clark from BRT here, trying to bring back Cartwright, but Cartwright's got 9 watts per kilogram up and over the top with that continuance. As we look over his shoulder, 181 beats per minute. He looks like he's putting in an effort for a race in real life at this point. I think he's peaking out and looking toward something in real life. I actually wish I had him in Discord to get a post-race interview, as I think most likely there's something he's really after, or he's just super motivated today to throw down against these boys here trying to chase him down, as Zaza, Clark, and Loke try to make it happen, but it does not look to be in the cards today. Richardson getting dropped off by his teammates as he's unable to hold on for that what would be almost a team time trial to try and throw down the waters to bring back Cartwright at this point. Scott C is saying over at YouTube, and you want to know why Cartwright does so many Zwift races by attacking early? I think winning all the time off the front would get boring. I think it's because he's a TT specialist, and he knows if he gets away, he's got the power to make it happen, and he wants to have the highest chances of winning the race. And we've seen Cartwright win many a times in some sprints, but usually he but his percentage of winning in a TT off the front is much, much higher. And so I think it just comes down to a better chance of winning the race off the front, as we've seen him lose quite a few times, though, also in sprints. So I have a feeling that is the reason. But thanks so much for the question there, Scott C. Opening back up our social media integration here, we've got a couple of other questions. Oh no, Orgel says that his laptop died. He was in the race. Chris Orgel says, go on Innovation. Unable to be there to support his riders any longer, though. So sorry to hear that, Orgel, that your laptop died. Let's get it plugged in next time. This is his threshold workout. The rage against this says over at YouTube. So Cartwright again, kicking again, 175 beats per minute. Loke and the other boys 34 seconds back. It's not coming back any longer. And it's going to be B. Clark up against 3 Innovation boys that are trying, that I would think would start sending 1 or 2 off the front here or there. Clark there out of New Zealand going to have his work cut out for him, as these boys are going to start playing cat and mouse as they head into the climb. But now he's just able to not rest up, actually. 5.7 watts per kilogram. These boys are giving it everything they got to try and bring this speed up at 30 miles per hour or so, as you can see here. Back in the C race, though, we've got Williams, it looks like, solo, trying to chase down ADZ MP360, who is still over category limits, though. So it's going to be Williams with a little bit of a kick, actually, in a dropout. Pickering there as well with Dalen. I think we were looking at Dalen maybe as one of the riders that were still within category limits. I'm going to keep moving backwards here. I think Andy Beveridge, actually, from TFC. He's a well-known racer, actually, amongst the community here. And Andy Beveridge, I would think, would be well within the category limits here. I did see Jonathan Noblin in there as well, out there racing in the B category, 204 beats per minute in the last 30 seconds, 3.9 watts per kilogram. In that B category, solid. That's some solid effort, actually, in the last 30 seconds. 3.1 though for the duration so far. Lots and lots of upgrades. I see lots of red numbers actually from first all the way down to, it looks like, almost 20th place actually in that C category. So boys and girls, if you are in that C category, make sure that you're checking out zwiftpower.com, and if your numbers are red under your 20-minute power, you got to get that upgrade going. It's upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Where's the Oprah meme? Everybody gets an upgrade today. So it is going to be then Jay Rowdy, I believe, in the C category, 10K in total at 3.1. That is most likely going to be taking this out of the U.S. of A. Last time he checked in was at the Box Hill KOM Arch. Andy Beveridge, though, let's see where Andy is sitting here from that TFC team. 3.2 watts per kilogram, right on category limits, not over it, actually. So Andy may be your current leader, actually, within that limit at this point. I think he's going to be taking it. Campbell is also there trying to bring it in. Call him Limitless. Rage Against this says over at the YouTube channel. Who are we calling Limitless? Jonathan Noblet? Is that who we're supposed to be calling Limitless? That's a good, actually, that's probably a good one for him, as that's one of the first things that he's ever said in the channel when I first met Jonathan was Limitless, as we were listening to that song a whole lot, actually. All right, right back to the front of the race. Now, Cartwright's only got 20 seconds, actually, 19, actually. He might have went too hard too early. Is he going to fade? As the Innovation Boys, I know they're going to be putting out 5.5 to 6 now. Will Cartwright be able to hold on? 18 seconds is easily closed down on Box Hill if you've got the power to give. And all you got to do is do a little bit more, a 10th or 20th or 30th of watt per kilogram over, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and you can bring back that 18 seconds over that 6-minute climb or so. Cartwright's going to have to keep an eye out behind him, and he's going to start coming within their sights. He's right around the corner here, 20 seconds up. Clark now making his way to the front with Innovation now at 5.2 or so. Let's go ahead and see. I'm not super familiar with Clark, actually, and so coming out of New Zealand, BRT team, I am seeing that recently Clark he's U23 actually. Boris Clark coming out of New Zealand, 16 races out on Zwift. Actually is Zada approved, so he's submitted for Zada. His FTP at 355 actually. He took a third back on May 26th, so we actually haven't seen him in the world of Zwift racing in quite a while. That was a WBR 4-lap. Well, Primal Europe Friday Criterium Spring Race he did back on the 15th of April, got a second, and he won a WBR flat, though, on the 17th of April. So it's been a while since we've seen Clark now coming into the winter season for the Southern Hemisphere. Looks like he's jumping out on to Zwift for that BRT team. And this Zada-approved boy trying to throw down some serious wattage to chase down Mr. Cartwright and put down the power up against the Innovation Boys here. Cartwright here, looks like he's got a win, a third, and a fifth in the last 3 races or so he's done. 179 races out on Zwift. Zada approved out of the United Kingdom. And 28 seconds up currently is Cartwright from these boys. 375 FTP is his coming from his Strava profile. He won back on the 11th. He won back on the 9th, and he got a third on the 8th. So that's his last 3 races out on Zwift. Solid as always is Mr. Cartwright. So we are looking back over at the integrations here. Jonathan Lamont saying 204 beats per minute. Limitless got 11 more to go. Steve Modco says, I love Zwift. Thanks for the comment there from Steve Modco. We all do love. It's absolutely amazing. The massive multiplayer digital community that has developed and is bettering each other through the power of bicycles. 204 beats per minute though coming from Jonathan Lamont. I got 11 more before max, so not quite maxed out just yet, it sounds like. And great comment here coming from Steven saying that he loves Zwift. Thanks a lot for that as well. So back to Mr. Cartwright, as we do have 31 seconds on the front of this A race for him. And it looks like C. Loke from Innovation now, 5.5 watts per kilogram, taking up the charge now at the front, with his teammates sitting in, trying to... There is a good draft, actually, in Zwift on the uphills. I mean, it's not as pronounced, but it is pretty good, actually, and it does help to sit into it. We do have 7 watts per kilogram now being kicked up as Clark now tries to break off these Innovation boys. He's going to need to do that, actually, before the top of this climb if he's going to have a better chance to win this outright. Richardson now getting dropped off by 1 second here. Zaza now coming around here. We do see, though, that feather power up coming from Loke trying to hang on, and it looks like they're going to lose Richardson. That feather power up actually makes him lighter by 1 watt per kilogram, so he gains a watt per kilogram in order to chase this breakdown. Clark now continue to go off the front, 5.3. Innovation now with Zaza closing it down. It will now be 3 riders as Gavin is unable to hang on, it looks like here. 5.2 watts per kilogram, almost back on terms. He may be able to do this, but the elastic is definitely snapping as they're all in a single line, as you can see here, out on Box Hill, trying to just find that wheel that's right in front of them. Zaza now coming around again real quickly here. Clark now trying to grab back onto Zaza's wheel as we got Loke here. 2 seconds back to Richardson. Is the continuance going to be there up and over the top? We do see 176 beats per minute coming from, it looks like Loke. Boris now coming right around now as well, kicking one more time, 182 beats per minute. And looking at the results here from Loke as of recently, that's going to be the question. How has Chris Loke been doing? 58 races out on Zwift, 370 watt FTP. And Loke had a second, it looks like, back in the OODZ Saturday Showdown. He also raced last week in this race, the Kiss Europe race, and got a second place in that as well. So Loke looking to better that, maybe with the first place to chase down Cartwright, but it's not going to happen. Cartwright is absolutely gone. So all he can do is get the same result as last week, it looks like, as it's 44 seconds out at this point. He may have a minute before the end, but Boris, he's not interested in that result for Innovation. He's kicking still into 6 watts per kilogram, trying to hold these boys off. He doesn't want Richardson to get back on terms. It's 1 second back to Zaza as well, who's maxed almost out at 170 beats per minute, trying to get back with the boys here going off the front. But Richardson bites the dust off the back. I don't think he's going to be seen again unless the Innovation boys slow things down, but it doesn't look like Boris is too interested in tactics at this point. All he wants to do is turn the screws at the front and make it super fast so that Richardson does not get back on terms with this front end, and at least only has to deal with 2 Innovation boys rather than 3. Cartwright kicking again, 8 watts per kilogram over the top of the climb, 9.6% gradient now as we're looking back at Loke and Clark, as well as Zaza. They just watch him fade away in the distance. Now we do have Hodges here in no man's land, solo TT for him, as he's going to try and hold off Christensen as well as Hans to the line, as he has a solid, it looks like, 6th place right now he will be able to hold on to, unless this Innovation boy can close it down. 185 beats per minute though coming from the Christensen out of New Zealand. And then we do have Hans here in the top 10, as well as Gavin Arbor there. Quentin Lefay holding down, I think, 10th place out on course. We'll give him a ride on for some encouragement to get to the line. Back up at the front, though, we see the orange numbers being thrown down. There is a feather power up, and the attack over the top of Box Hill with that 9% gradient. This is the last chance to try and break things apart on the downhill with only 3. There may be a little bit of wiggle room to make it happen. Innovation now into a Sagan tuck for a second. There is 8 meters to beat Clark, though. There is no draft on Zaza at this point, but now he kicks it into that 5 to try and drop off Loke. Loke does not have the draft at all now, and actually Zaza might have made it more difficult for his teammate. Maybe he goes back and tries to get the wheel to his teammate at this point and pull him back into Boris's wheel so that they stay on terms. But it looks like it will be happening, as Cartwright's still off the front and almost into the underground, I would think, at 5.1 watts per kilogram, 170 beats per minute now. And Rage Against This says, no let up for Tim. The Jaguar Team TFC is in the house. Good to see you, Jaguar. Says, broken body can manage enough to spin. Might get racing again in next couple of weeks. Jaguar, good to see you, and I hope to see you out there racing on Zwift. And Glenn Knight saying, I'm recovering recovery point from burnout as well. Slowly getting it back. Sounds good. Good job. Juice Train's in there. Nice job this morning, Juice Train. Juice Train's actually Ian Anderson over on the Twitch channel. Nice job this morning with your racer focus. Looked like a difficult race in the KISS AMs this morning. Cartwright still 167. Just spinning it for the win now at this point. It's going to be tempo, I think, and just kind of keep control of the race now, rather than having to push it with well over a minute. Very difficult to close down. Zaza now with a 1 second gap. The BRT boy has to close it down. And it looks like we're going to have a 3-up sprint for the line. Hodges now kicking again up over the top with that feather power up, making sure that the Innovation Boy does not close it back down to him. Richardson did get dropped off by 40 seconds, was not able to hold on to the gap to those boys up and over the top of Box Hill, but it's solid effort here in 5th place today. So Hodges 3 minutes back though. Man, those attacks can open up those gaps so quickly. And now Cartwright here 5.4 though at the front of the race and 93 RPM. So what's it going to be? Let's get a prediction going here. Clark or Zaza or Loke to the line. We know Cartwright's got this in the bag, most likely, barring any kind of mechanical or dropout or anything like that. But amongst these riders today, let's hear your call out for the BRT. Is it going to be BRT or Innovation? Loke, Zaza, or B. Clark today? We'll hear your predictions. Tweet them out to us. Get them in the chat. Between these riders, who is going to win? Aaron Locks is in here. Good to see you pedaling tonight, Aaron. Good to see you in the channel. Nikki Manson saying, looks like it. Penny was wondering, same myself, what's going on here. Pennywood said, is this the new race format with only racers on course? It is, and it's actually amazing. It is definitely the new format, and that's why you see all the A's on the right-hand side, as well as an A above me here next to watching Zaza. Zaza attacking up and out of the underground, actually. Loke trying to hang on to the wheel, actually. Maybe even, though, keeping the BRT boy from getting back on terms with that wheel, actually. Looks like he was almost trying to hold him up, actually. But the BRT boy, Boris Clark, goes right on by out of New Zealand here. Almost back on terms with Zaza, but Zaza's got huge watts per kilogram to give up, and they'll have 111 RPMs. Here's the thing though, Zaza already has a D and a Q next to his name into the ZwipPower.com, the official results, but he can still throw down for the workout and try and hold off Clark though. That's what it's all about. It's not always about the end results at the end of the day. When it comes to racing out on Zwift, Clark's getting one of the best workouts of his life, trying to chase down Zaza at 187 beats per minute, and Zaza as well 183, boys and girls. But Cartwright here for the win, 175, can cruise on in. 30 seconds is over the gap, though. Zaza's got to back off as he's been throwing down for too long, and Clark is 2 seconds off the back, though. Will he have another kick? Are there any power-ups sitting up, any power-ups in reserve, any aces up their sleeve at this point to try and get that win? Will the RNG be in their favor? What were they able to pull off as they came through that KOM or last time on the lap through the start-finish banner? BRT boy almost gets back on turn, but Zaza kicks again before he gets within that 5 meters. It's out to 10 meters at this point. There is no draft. Clark tries to kick and get back on terms. This is for that second place on the podium here, boys and girls. Boris kicks one more time. There is an arrow power-up. He's got orange numbers to give, but now back to 6.6 watts per kilogram. The boy coming out of New Zealand, the U23, I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it happen as the South African continues to kick, but he's got orange numbers still all the way to the line. 191 beats per minute, beating like a butterfly, but it looks like Zaza's got 16, but it's not going to happen here as Clark has the RNG in his favor here, boys and girls. It will be Boris for second place. Cartwright takes the win, and Zaza from Innovation for third. Then behind him, Loke will take the official third on the day as he crosses the line, with Richardson then for fourth place behind him at 49 seconds. Hodges still in no man's land. TT effort all day long for Mrs. James Hodges. The cake is the lie is the other name we know him as. And at 6.7 watts per kilogram, still trying to hold off the Innovation boys. We'll give him a ride on as Christensen tries to chase him down at 32 seconds back. 5.6 watts per kilogram. Another little kick at 190 beats per minute out of the underground. Don't think any changes are going to be made at the front end of the race here. And a cheers there coming from Richardson. Nice job to him across the line for fifth place, I think, today, with Hodges now 4.4 watts per kilogram making his way to the line as well. And Rage Against This says, dang, nice finish. across the line. Come on, Hodges Szymanski is saying, well done, Clark. Johan Wallstrom saying over at the Twitch channel. Yeah, Clarky, good stuff. And Scott Cunningham saying yes with an exclamation mark. Scott Cunningham is definitely cheering on Mr. Boris Clark. Come on, Hodges, stop sandbagging, bring it home, says Team TFC. Jaguar is saying, I absolutely love it. 5.1 watts per kilogram. 42 seconds is the difference between him and it looks like Christensen. He'll be able to hold on to this. Still looking at some top 10 finishes here, though, between all the riders. Hans has his work cut out for him as Arbor here is chasing him down. South African here, 7 seconds is the difference there. We also have Quentin LaFay trying to chase down 33 seconds though. Holding off Caston's probably going to be on his mind, but Caston had some sort of a dropout or something. 11 miles per hour or so up and over the top here. Looks like Quentin LaFay going to easily hold on to this coming out of France there, riding for Vision. 6.8 watts per kilogram though, as he can see Gavin trying to close it down. Not sure Arbor's going to be able to make this happen though to the line. Hodges though just about to cross the line here for, I believe, 6th place, maybe 7th out on course. Back to the riders in the C category. Beveridge here now as he makes his way up and over the top of Box Hill. I think he's just starting it, actually, and it will be Campbell a little ways up from him. Dalen is there as well as M. Lay. We do have Williams 17 seconds up from him, and then it will be ADZ MPE 360 across the line. No other riders are visible. No, we are part of the culling, they're calling it, the ability to shut out all other riders out on course. As you can see, all the other riders now appeared suddenly as Hodges came across the line. We got A. Armstrong warming up as well as S. Libre. Bicycle Sports Shop is there as well. Moving back, though, we do see it looks like Christensen just making his way across the line. I'm going to see if I can actually find some of the B riders as they are out on course still, and maybe grab some of the winners in those categories. Kiss B, let's see if we can find them. I am seeing, looks like Angara's right there. It has not moved. That is actually from the Pens. I'm not seeing any B riders anywhere close just yet. D. Hopkins is here, a part of the KISS race here. Nice job to him. Wallace now bringing it in just ahead of Wardrick, actually. Solid effort between these two boys as Wallace from Innovation with Waylon there trying to chase him down as well as Wardrick. This is actually a battle right to the line for just outside the top 10, actually, with T. Waylon now. 3.8 watts per kilogram, trying to hold off Wardrick, who's trying to close it down to his teammate. I don't think it's going to happen, though, unless the man coming out of Switzerland has a big sprint to the line, as well as maybe an aero power up to make this happen. But Wallace now, 4.6 watts per kilogram, 194 beats per minute, sees the chase coming, and I don't think it's going to be closed down just yet, as Wallace now holds off Waylon. So the battle is actually going to be between the man coming out of Switzerland and Waylon here. 8.2 watts per kilogram is what he's got in the last 200 meters. And he will be dropping off Wayland, who no longer has that draft, at 10, 11, and 12 meters. As they come across the line, I'm going to see if I can actually find a few of the B-boys, as their sprints most likely are going to be winding up in just a moment. There it is with Cooper, actually, in the B category. 7.2 watts per kilogram coming out of the underground. I believe this is the front runner in this B category. Bachelor's there as well. Bachelor, he just raced, actually, on, was that this morning, or was that in the, actually, no, I think that was actually this morning. No, he actually raced, excuse me, back on Tuesday. Bachelor actually raced on Tuesday, got a top, I believe 5, maybe even 3rd, actually, in the B category race, actually, on Tuesday, when they did the half pretzel up and over the top of the mountain, actually. Here is Cooper, though, walking away with this one, with, it looks like, Rittervold, actually, out of Norway, holding it down for Innovation. So we've got a battle to the line in the B category today, boys and girls, as Cooper now 4.5 watts per kilogram here, 42 seconds up, has walked away with it, but it's going to be Lewis, Bachelor, Rittervold, Hinton, as well as Lund, a huge group of riders actually making their way to the lines to make their way over Tower Bridge in just a moment here for the battle in this B category. Leading things out, it will be Bachelor at the front on that Watt bike, it looks like, in the Watt bike kit. Bacon now. There's the Bacon, and it's heating up and sizzling with the Bacon coming out of Great Britain. Sitting in the back, it looks like, resting up. Bachelor still at the front. Now Hinton here from Innovation. It is a whole lot of Innovation colors there with a BRT as well as that Watt bike is in there as well. Lund is there too, coming from the Vikings team. They're in that Amgen Tour California kit, so watch out for the man out of Denmark there sitting in the back. Now here's a kit coming from Bachelor though, from that Watt bike there. Now no, we lost it, Byron. No, it's not your fault, Byron. It's all my fault. I clicked on the wrong thing. We get to the line, Byron. We got to see the finish. Let's see a sprint from Byron so that we can see what's going on from the B category. No, we've lost it. Here they go. They're coming by. It's somebody from Innovation. Lewis is trying to chase it down. Byron, chase them down. Don't let them go. We've got to see what happens, but it's not going to happen. There goes Hinton. And maybe I just leave it for all together. I should have been in the B category maybe. I stuck with the C's. We'll get back with the C's in just a second. Barlett's not fast enough to stay with. Bacon is off the back though. We can see that at least right along with Lund. Who's going to win it? It looks like it's getting broken apart at the front end of the race. I think it's an Innovation boy off the front. But coming out of Germany here, Violand from TS Bikes there. He's got in that kit on. And it looks like Bacon will get the better of Lund to the line, and as he comes across the line we'll be able to see a few more things. And actually Zwiftpower.com is going to help us out here, I believe. As they cross the line we can see exactly what happened. It should update momentarily. I believe Cooper took the win, but he actually had 4.3 watts per kilogram. He'll be getting an upgrade. 4.4 actually. Bacon 4.3. Lewis 4.1 actually. So amongst those boys, it will be Bachelor and Byron actually. Bachelor for the W, as Riddervold as well as Hinton and Robertson all were well over category limits. So Martin Lund, so Russell Bachelor for the win, followed by Martin Lund, and then Marcus Byerlin, that's all within the overalls there. So solid job between all of them. So Russell Bachelor for the win in the B category. All right, so that was how that ended up working out there. So back to the C category. This is ADZ MPE 360 as well as Pratt there trying to chase him down. It looks like a solid effort with Williams and Lay. Nice job to them. Tupai TV, hello everybody. Good to see you, Tupai TV, hanging out at the Twitch channel. Dwayne is in there as well from Vision Cycling. Sushi Salmon's in there. Good to see you over at the Twitch channel. So a lot of upgrades in the B category today. It looks like Simon Cooper with 4.4 watts per kilogram gets an upgrade. Congratulations. Riddervold as well from Innovation, upgrade out of the B category. Adam Lewis, upgrade. We've got Andrew Hinton, upgrade, as well as Chris Bacon with 4.3 watts per kilogram. You boys, all ya got the A category. Nice job to grab those upgrades. But Russell Bachelor will take the official win at 3.9. Well, not the official. These are all preliminary. Excuse me, I shouldn't say official. Preliminary results before the race organizers get to them, but according to the current results, it will be in this order in the B category: Russell Bachelor, followed by Martin Lund, and then it will be most likely B. McGlue from Innovation Cycles, as he did have a solid gap, it looks like, over M. Rugeron out of France there in that B category. Dubai TV saying, so happy my trainer's working decent now. I had a broken unit for months. Good to hear that. And you can finally Zwift. We are seeing what's going on with this Carol Tower Zwift Community Live Twitch. What's going on there? I'm wondering what's going on with the little tweet over there. Fabio Di Avilia, Rodrigo Montechiari. Good to see you, Fabio. And thanks for your comment. Rob Bolt, the director sportif over at the Bolt Racing Team, gave a little bit of a well done, Mr. Clark. And you can't see the emoji, but that is a little bit of a bicep emoji there. Super happy to see Boris Clark get across the line first. And Heath Eckersley is saying, great racing, Clark. Cheers, Nathan. Brilliantly done. Thanks a lot, Heath. And well done to Boris Clark. That was a huge effort. Great job to Tim Cartwright across the line for first place. And Robert Minnick saying, great fun and watching. We also see Joe Gavin Richardson, who just came across the line. Well done to Tim Cartwright. Thanks a lot for all the comments, boys and girls. Looking through here, then the race results for the A category as we're waiting for these C boys to make their way to the line. For the A category, it was Tim Cartwright with a killer 5.6 to the line. TT specialist for sure. 42 minutes at 5.6 watts per kilogram. That is huge. Boris Clark there took second place BRT. He was able to get away then from those innovation boys. What an effort there from Boris Clark, the U23 rider coming out of New Zealand. Zahir Rahman then, he got the DQ, but he did put out 5.3. Needs to submit to Zada, but solid effort there. That was a super high heart rate all the way through, so definitely a killer effort. Just need to see that strain gauge power meter results though from real life, so hopefully he can get those in soon enough, as I know he's a strong rider in real life, but we need to see the ability to do it from a strain gauge, as being super strong, there's a lot of difference between 4 and 5 and 5.5, as we saw 5.3 throughout the duration of the race. That's some serious pro numbers, boys and girls. Chris Loke then with a solid third place out there, preliminary result from Innovation. Great job to him, 32 seconds back from those boys. Gavin Richardson then will take it ahead of James Hodges. That's your top 5 in that A category. We already went through the B results, waiting for these C boys as they are making their way to the line. We will watch a sprint in this C category, and then we will be done for the day for our broadcasts. As we wait for these boys to make their way to the line, if you're wondering what's happening anytime on Zwift Community Live, you can definitely check us out. Here is our weekly schedule. We post this on our Facebook as well as we tweet it out, and it is also always live at ZwiftCommunityLive.com. That is our website. We are also starting to load. We're going to have some new pages on ZwiftCommunityLive.com to resource you guys out, to teach you guys how to stream on your own as well. So definitely check out ZwiftCommunityLive.com. We have later tonight, Zuskana will be streaming her drop lactic acid ride. That is her using the workout mode actually in Zwift. Looks like I have a visitor. Come on in, Lindsay. Garrett, some of you guys are going to recognize this person as she's jumping in here. What's going on, Lindsay? Looks like she's got some vegetable juice. Thanks for the vegetable juice, Lindsay. I appreciate it very much. Looks like we're juicing here. Recovering from the broadcasting is what she's making me do, it sounds like, here for the day. Thanks a lot, Lindsay. I appreciate the drink. Maybe she can hear my throat getting a little scratchy here. Actually, she does the music, actually, when we have the roll-in music before the broadcasts. That's all her, actually. Driven is the name of the song that we've been using lately. Need a vision to stay driven. It's a great song, actually. Love it. Great race, great stream. Keep it up. Thanks, you Tupai. I appreciate it very much. Nice streams. Thanks. No problem, Highlander. Thanks for joining in at the broadcast. Stephen Tweed hanging out. Go on, Mark Lay. Great to see Mark continue to improve and grow over the last months. So solid race here coming from ADZ. But the encouragement there for Mark as he is making his way to the line, I believe, still out here on course. It does look like we've got Keto there as well. It looks like some sort of SASCC team making their way to the line here in just a moment. Here comes Lay, which Stephen Tweed was talking about. Stephen Tweed is in the, looks like Facebook here. And that is one of the riders that did participate, actually, in the CVR World Cup. So good to see Stephen hanging out in the broadcast and encouraging on Mark Lay as he is trying to hold off Dalen as well as Campbell. Here's the sprint to the line in the C category for second place now. Out on course, riding for ALV now, WBR. And it looks like he's going to be able to hold off Dale. 9.7 watts per kilogram. A little bit of a kick to the line there. 9.9 now as well. 177 beats per minute. Looking over his shoulder, he's going to have this, it looks like, in the bag as he is able to hold off Dalen. Dalen across the line, followed by Campbell. Nice sprint for those top 3 and 4 positions. And it looks like Lay was able to take down second, but it was MPE 360 preliminary results. But I believe there will be some upgrades today amongst those boys. So again, tonight, next up on Zwift Community Live, Drop lactic acid use in workout mode tonight with Zuskana. We will be live at 4 a.m. BST. That is 10 p.m. CST. Not sure what it is in Australia. Maybe a couple Australians can help me out there from the land down under. Then we will have at 7 p.m. tomorrow the Friday Criterium. Then it will be the Zwift. Now, for all the women out there, the Zwift Academy just launched, and we also do have some women's rides that we are starting to curate on the channel. But Zuskana does a great job with a 1.5 to 1.8 watts per kilogram or so, anywhere between actually 1.2 and 1.8 watts per kilogram for that ride. Definitely a ride you want to check out that will be happening tomorrow as well. It is a Zwift event, so you can find it on Zwift.com/events as well as in the mobile link. If you're ever looking for these events, a race, a group ride, or a race or a group ride, those are the events that are out on Zwift. You can jump onto the Zwift mobile link and check those out and join in if you're a woman looking for a cool introductory ride or just a chill recovery ride out on Zwift. Kim Little saying, good luck with your sums and spelling Rogers. As Rogers, I know Rogers a long time viewer. He's actually infamous for his what the heck moment out on the Watopia Mountain when it first opened up, and we were doing a stream actually of the Watopia Mountain. His avatar came out of nowhere from like a helicopter or something onto the mountain. If you look that up, actually, it's a great little YouTube video. Maybe somebody can find it, link it on the Twitch. But thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. We'll get some highlights up from the race just momentarily. Make sure to watch out for those on our Twitter as well as our YouTube. If you're wondering all the places that we are live and have our VODs and stuff, you can find them on Twitch. You can find them on YouTube. It is always Zwift Community Live. That is always the place, as well as on Mixer and on Facebook. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you later tonight for that Zuskana Drop Lactic Acid ride. Cheers, and great job to all the riders, as usual, and ride on.
We gonna go. Here we go. We gonna go. We gonna go. Ready? Right on. Let me ask you why you do what you